Welcome back. In this and the subsequent steps, we would start looking at some of the important annotations which are provided by JPA and Hibernate as well. We should be careful about using Hibernate annotations because when we use JPA, one of the flexibilities you get is you can easily shift from Hibernate to any other persistence provider. So any other JPA implementation like TopLink or the others. But when you use a Hibernate specific feature, that means you are tied to Hibernate. So always remember that when you are using a Hibernate specific feature. Let's now start with one of the first annotations, which is at table. So at table, what is the use of at table? At table is used to define the name of the table. Here what we are doing is we are mapping a course table to course entity. However, there might be situations where this table is called something else. This table might be called course details or something of that kind. So in those kind of situations, you can use at table with the name. So for example, I can write now say the name of the table is course details. However, the entity I would want to store it in is course. Now let's import the JavaX persistence table entity table in, and I would stop and start the application again. You'd see that the table which would be used would be course details. So the at table annotation is used to define the name of the table. You can see that the application context fails to start because the data.sql contains, what does it contain? It contains course. It does not know about details. So let's look at the schema which is being created first. You can see that the name of the table which is being created is course underscore details. The course entity maps to course underscore details table. Actually here we are saying course details, so it automatically changes that and creates course underscore details, because typically when we are creating tables, the convention which is used is to separate words by underscores. So here instead of course I would need to say it course underscore details, course underscore details, course underscore details. Let's start the demo application up. Now let's refresh our connection to H2 console and course details. You can see that the table name is now course details ID name. So even though inside our entities we call it course, inside the table it is course details. Also the other thing you would observe is the fact that the queries and everything are now generated to course underscore details. So it's now select star from course underscore details. It's update course underscore details. So you see that like the JPA is actually doing a lot of magic. So even when the entity and the table names are different, whenever you are doing something with the course, the updates are directly sent out to the course underscore details table. The only thing that you need to do is to map it. You map it once and you can forget about it. So the fact that your entity name is different from the table name, you don't need to tell that in every query, in every repository and all that kind of stuff. All that you need to do is tell it once to JPA using the at table annotation, and that's it. You can forget about that. So what I'll do is I'll go back. I don't want to use course details. I would want to stick with course. So I could do either this, or I can remove the annotation completely, and I would actually even revert the changes which are present in here and restart it. Now you would see that we are back to normal. We would be using the course table. So the table name is course. We are inserting data into course, and this would start up the course table. And let's refresh. It's called course, and you have everything as expected, as we had earlier before this step. If your name of the entity is different from the name of the table, then you can use the table annotation. Until the next step, bye bye.